It's been about 2 months since I first set foot in the United States of America. 2 months of new and utter fascination. There are lots of things that I've found super interesting. For one, coming from Lagos, the largest city in Africa, I've been super amazed by the skyline when driving through the countryside. It's a sight I really didn't appreciate growing up in Lagos because of the high-rise buildings that surround my city. There are also new experiences that have left me confused. For example, I was really confused when people from Michigan would point to their palms to describe where they came from. Initially, I was also really confused about what a block meant, and that caused me to get lost and accidentally walk from campus to Maya one fine Saturday morning. Yeah, I really got those steps in. By far, some of my most exciting experiences, though, have been with food. At Phelps Dining and during discussions with students and faculty, I've encountered all sorts of delicacies. Cheeseburgers, tater tots, candy corn, corn dogs, what else? Fries, oh my God, and burritos. And burritos, yes, burritos. My first burrito experience happened rather impulsively after a 2-hour theater class. I was with a couple of friends narrating how I'd spent 7 hours in Chicago because I had missed my flight and also missed the first day of orientation. Somehow we got to the topic of things I'm excited to try in America, and burritos came up. It's always really interesting to see people surprised by my newness, to see their faces light up in amazement when I say I've never seen snow or some other fact people in America take for granted. You've never seen burritos? No. You mean you've never seen burritos? Still no, it hasn't changed. We ended up heading straight for the whole parking lot and driving about 7 minutes to the closest burrito selling place. We get out of the car and head in, and then I'm confronted with it. Options, options, options. After a couple of minutes of looking at the menu, I think my friends realized that I probably didn't know what to pick, and so they helped me out. One beefy 5-layer burrito with seasoned rice and creamy jalapeno sauce. We'll have that with some Baja Blast, please. We wait for what feels like eternity, and finally we hear it. Your order is ready. Now, I wouldn't tell you how exactly the story ends or what I think of burritos yet, but I imagine some similarities between my experience and hopefully your experience with trying new things. So in the next few steps, I hope to share lessons that can ease your journey with what is new, different, and sometimes scary. Step 1, it's important to have good people around when you're trying your burrito. You need, yes, you need people who will tell you what they think looks good on the menu. In extremely new circumstances, it does pay to remember that you basically have no reference point, and you do need people who understand where you're coming from and can match you with something you can at least hold down. People who truly care about you and whose judgment of what is unfamiliar you can trust. For me, I found these friends in my mentor, my host family, the Phelps Scholars Program, other international students, and professors here, along with my very diverse group of friends. For sure, these different people have different ideas of what the best item on the menu is, but still they can guide me. They can hold my hand and help me figure out what it is exactly I like. Step 2, listen to the stories of others who have attempted to eat burritos. Personally, stories are especially important for my career and calling. I was really inspired by the stories of courage, resilience, and hard work that I had heard in high school, and that inspired me to publish the book I worked on during my gap year, just before coming to college. The book features the stories of presidents, Nobel Prize winners, leading academics, and youth activists from all over the world. They share the lessons they've learned over their careers and how young people can apply those same lessons to get to the top. At Hope, I strive to hear the stories of sophomores, juniors, seniors, and professors. I want to know the things they enjoy doing and those they kind of wish they hadn't. I choose to hear their stories of what is good on the menu and what trying each item feels like. I invite you to do the same. Step 3, have a napkin, even if you aren't going to use one. New experiences like burritos can get messy, and it does pay to have a backup plan. It's always good to have something you can fall back on, just in case what you expected turns out not to be so. Step 4, it's perfectly okay not to like burritos, and it's okay for people to know you don't like them. Not everyone is cut out for a beefy 5-layer burrito with seasoned rice and creamy jalapeno sauce, and not everyone is cut out for the new experience you have been encouraged to try. It's often better to acknowledge our boundaries while simultaneously pushing to expand them. This paradox of engaging and not engaging can generally be tricky to achieve, but it's a crucial step in our personal development. Step 5, please remember that there are people who cannot afford burritos. I guess coming from a developing country has really helped put this in perspective. In the US, about 30% of those who finish from high school won't move on to college. In my home country, Nigeria, that number is as high as 80%. We need to remember those who are getting less for no fault of theirs, but simply because of the social, historical, and political forces that shape our world. Not everyone can afford new experiences, and this realization is key. Through our own process of trying things on the menu, we need to get educated about the challenges that confront our world. We need to use this education that we get from the menu and our experience of eating burritos to fix our world. It's our duty as those who benefit from privilege of any sort. It's our duty as humans. To round off, my first experience with burritos wasn't all that I wanted it to be. I think not being used to the flavors probably had something to do with it. To be fair though, my friends did take me to Taco Bell, which I have learned is the low end of burritos. But I have tried burritos again, and to an extent, I've enjoyed them. And I think that also says something about the process. The idea of understanding that one bite, one taste, one flawed experience doesn't represent all that there is. So friends, go out there, scan the menu, order the burrito that life will present you, and take a bite. Your first experience may not be all that exciting, but the education and realizations that will follow would definitely be worth it. Thank you.